We are Grassroots Garage, and this is a Datsun Heaven series. On this episode of Grassroots Garage, we have Ben's 1971 510. Now most of you will recognise that distinct engine sound at the start of the video. That sound in particular started my love affair with Datsuns over 20 years ago. And the motor in question is none other than a twin-carbed L20B.
In the edit suite, cut to a shot of what we have here today, and the guy that put that all together is Ben. And Ben, we're eternally grateful, mate. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Tell us about your car.
Well, it's a 1971 510. I bought it in 1985. I had a couple others before that hand out of high school, and I had just kept this car and kept it going, and it's been a long road building it to where it is, and it's still got a lot of changes in the future, but I really enjoy it, and it's no reason to sell it. It's just loads of fun.
Ben's been modifying and driving this car hard since day one, and 30 years later we really respect he's kept the original styling he chose in the 80s.
Tell us about these carbies.
These are 44mm Makunis, which I actually bought new in 1984.
Ooh.
And these they only cost me $400 for everything back then.
Oh.
Nowadays they're going for $1,200, $1,500. So I'm lucky that most of the major things on this car I bought back in the 80s and 90s when they were much more affordable. But they're 44s. The engine's a 2-liter L20B block and L20B head, but I've got the cut down 2.4-liter Nissan hardbody crankshaft, which I guess in over there in Australia would be a Navara or something. And I've got the 89mm pistons, so a displacement is 2.4 liters in the L20B. That's a hybrid motor. And then the head's been reworked with some bigger valves. I got a bigger cam, different springs. It's a custom tri-Y header that a Japanese guy in San Diego made, but with a gas torch, and it's still going after 30 years. And it makes about 150 horsepower, so not too bad.
Nothing to be sneezed at. 150. Yeah. That's moving.
And the torque is about 140, so I'm happy with it. There's a lot of things I'm going to improve in the future, but overall it works and does what it needs to do.
With the best quarter mile time of 15 flat, it was time for me to jump in and see what this 2.4 litre stroker can do. A smile on your face.
Yeah. Hard to get that sound from anything else.
Yeah.
do one more up in the back and
That's perfect.
absolutely awesome. L20B 2.4 stroker goes all right.
Take me to 1985 when you first got this car.
When I first got this car, I was in between cars because I had wrecked one in '84, and then I had a Mazda RX-2 I was driving around for about a year because I happened to get it really cheap, and I threw an engine in it and drove that around. And then I said, I want another 510 again. So a friend told me about this one that was in Riverside, actually in this area, not far from this area, and I bought it for $250 as a shell. So my dad and I towed it back to San Diego behind his Toyota truck, and I went ahead and started working on it and got it on the road because back then in the 80s, this is my daily driver. Everybody was pretty much daily driving their 510s.
Yeah.
And it was the only car I had. So I built this up, sold the RX-2, and then just kept working on this car while I was going into college. At some point in time, I went in the Air Force for 4 years, and it was parked, came back out and kept it and kept building it up. And
beautiful.
I always enjoy working on this car, even if there's times where months go by and I don't do anything. I still have fun getting it and driving it again.
Definitely. So when you got an 85, basically stock, and then when did the modifications start happening to the car?
They started right away.
Right away?
Yeah, because I had all the parts from the one I wrecked. So I had an engine that had a Weber carburetor on it and a header, and I already had a few suspension parts. I already had some different wheels, so I already put it on the car right away and started driving it around that way. And then as every 4 or 5 years, I do something major and make big improvements. So that's where it is. It's just getting better and better.
Yeah, slowly improving over time. We love that, definitely.
Yeah.
Pete and I have never seen these wheels before, so Ben gave us the lowdown.
These are Ronal, European. They're called the Ronal R10 Turbo. They came out in the 80s. They were, I believe they're probably styled after the BMW and Audi and stuff race cars back in the days. These were actually a fitment for a Toyota Celica and Toyota MR2. But I made them work on the 510 because I liked them. And at the time I bought them, I bought these around 1987. I was deciding between Panasports or these, and I said, no one has these, I'm going to get these. So I went with these wheels, and they've been kind of a trademark on my car. Everybody knows my car from those wheels, and I've decided just to keep them because there's no reason. They're 15x7, they work.
Beautiful.
So I'm pleased, very pleased with them.
Gives it a real rally style, doesn't it? Which is the heritage of these little Datsuns, a bit of rally. Tell us about these seats.
These seats are just the common Corbeau seats. I don't remember the model. They may be TRS or something, but they're recliner. I got them through a deal helping a friend with the car, so I really didn't pay for them. It was a trade of work. But they're pretty comfortable, and they definitely hold you out on the track. I've done a lot of track days, and way better than the stock seats.
Definitely nice and comfortable. That's it. There's no back seat. What's going on?
I limited the back seat because I've got this auto power roll bar, and then once I went to the cross brace and I went to the seat belt brace, pretty much no one's going to get back there anymore.
Nah.
So at that point, who needs a back seat? Take it out, save some weight, and it looks cleaner.
Doesn't it? Looks
and then
beautiful,
my aluminum
man.
work I did in there fits in a little bit better.
Definitely.
So that didn't make sense to have a back seat anymore. Plus, it's a 2-door, which the Australians never get. So 4 doors would maybe be good to keep the back seat, but with a 2-door, you can't get back. There's no way to get back there.
So this day has been put together by Ben, and Ben, we really appreciate it. And thanks for telling us about your car.
Well, that wraps up Datsun Heaven Part 3 in Southern California. But don't go anywhere, because next episode, we bring on the boost. We've got Ray's beautiful little silver KA Turbo 510.